Hey there, and welcome. If you have ever been curious about a career in artificial intelligence, but you weren't really sure where to even begin, you have come to the right place. Today, we're going to break down a clear, step-by-step roadmap to get you from learner to pro in the super exciting world of AI. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at the big picture. What is the AI opportunity right now? Then we'll dive into choosing a learning path that actually fits you. After that, it's all about action, building projects that'll get you noticed, making your GitHub profile shine, and then the best part, how to launch your career using some absolutely incredible free resources.
Okay, first things first, the AI opportunity. It feels like AI is everywhere these days, right? But what does that actually mean for your career? Let's take a look at why this is the perfect moment to jump right in.
And this quote right here, it really hits the nail on the head. The key word is AI literate. It's not just about needing more programmers. The demand is for a workforce across the board that understands what these tools can do. That's the real opportunity we're talking about.
But what is AI really? Let's just break it down, super simple. At its heart, AI is just software that can do things we normally think of as human tasks. And it does this using methods like machine learning, which is all about teaching computers to find patterns in data.
So how does something like ChatGPT work its magic? Well, you can think of it as a three-step dance. First, it's trained on a mind-boggling amount of text from the internet. It learns grammar, facts, all sorts of patterns. Second, when you type in a prompt, it uses this really cool thing called a self-attention mechanism, which basically helps it figure out which words in your sentence are the most important to understand the context. And finally, it just starts predicting the most likely next word one by one to build out its answer.
All right, so that's the what. Now for the how. How do you actually turn this into a career? Well, that brings us to our next section, because you've got options. We're going to look at two of the hottest paths right now, becoming a machine learning engineer or a prompt engineer. Okay, so which path is for you? On one side, you have the machine learning engineer. This is the builder. This is you if you love digging into Python, math, and building predictive models from the ground up. On the other side, you've got the prompt engineer. This is more of the strategist, the creative person who's a master at crafting the perfect instructions to get amazing results out of an AI. Which one of those sounds more like you? So if you're thinking, yep, machine learning engineer, that's me, then here's your blueprint. It's a pretty logical journey. You're going to start with the language of AI, which is Python, and its data handling libraries. Then you build up that foundation in math. From there, you learn the core concepts and the main libraries. And then, the fun part, you start building projects to put it all together.
Now, if you're leaning towards prompt engineering, your roadmap looks a little different. You still got to understand how these models think, but then your focus shifts to mastering advanced techniques. Things like few-shot prompting, where you give the AI a couple of examples to follow, or a chain of thought, where you ask it to explain its thinking step by step. It's all about becoming a great critical thinker and building a portfolio that shows you know how to get results from these AI.
Okay, let's talk about what might be the single most important part of this whole journey: building projects. I mean, tutorials are great, but creating something real, something tangible, that's what proves your skills. That's what gets employers to sit up and take notice. This is where the rubber meets the road.
So what kind of project should you be building? Well, think bigger than just simple exercises. Employers absolutely love to see a full-stack application because it shows you can think about the whole picture. And another huge one? Contributing to open-source projects. That proves you can navigate a big, complex code base and work with a team, skills you'll use every single day on the job. And check this out. This table is a perfect little roadmap for your projects. You can start with the classic, like a spam email classifier, to nail down the fundamentals. Then you can level up to something like analyzing the sentiment of tweets to get into natural language processing. And before you know it, you're tackling advanced stuff like building your very own chatbot.
So once you've built all these amazing projects, you need a place to show them off, right? That brings us to section 4, your GitHub profile. You need to stop thinking of it as just a place to store code and start thinking of it as your professional portfolio. It's your resume, but way more powerful.
And you know, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So treat your GitHub like your digital storefront. Use a professional picture and a bio that gets straight to the point about your skills. Pin your absolute best projects right to the top. And for every single project, please write a detailed README file that explains what it does. It just screams professionalism.
And look, none of this works without knowing the fundamental tools. Using Git to manage your code versions isn't just a nice to have. It's the language that everyone in modern software development speaks. It shows you know how to track changes, collaborate, and manage a project like a pro.
All right, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and Honestly, this might be the best part. You're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but it must be expensive. Well, what if I told you that world-class AI training is more accessible than ever, and a lot of it is completely free?
I mean, just look at this list. It's incredible. You've got platforms like Coursera and edX where you can audit courses from top-tier universities like Harvard and MIT for free. But the real game changer here, it's the big tech companies themselves. Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, they are all offering their industry-leading training, often with free certificates, to everyone. Take Microsoft Learn, for example. You can go through entire self-paced learning paths for super in-demand skills like Azure AI, and it is all completely free.
Then you've got AWS Skill Builder. I mean, Amazon is the biggest name in the cloud, right? Well, they have hundreds of free courses that teach you everything from the basics to advanced machine learning.
And you definitely don't want to sleep on IBM. Their Skills Build platform is awesome for earning these career-ready digital badges in hot fields like AI and cybersecurity that you can just pop right onto your LinkedIn profile. And of course, there's Google. Through Coursera, they offer a ton of great specializations you can check out. The message here is crystal clear. The best companies in the world are literally giving you the keys to the kingdom. They want you to learn this stuff. So there you have it. We've laid out the opportunity, you know the paths you can take, you know you need to build real projects, and now you have an entire arsenal of world-class, free resources at your fingertips. The roadmap is right here in front of you. Which means the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?